The clock is ticking, so they say it's time to go. Sit back, enjoy the show. Yeah, it's G-O-A-T, whoa.
Minnesota is known as the state of hockey, but it's also home to some of the best bandy players in the country.
It's very similar to hockey, but it's on a really big ice sheet. It's more of a soccer style, but it's at a high level speed. So then you use a bandy stick, which is smaller than a hockey stick. See the curve? It's shorter. And then there's a bandy ball.
The USA team, along with several other major teams in Russia, Sweden, and China, have helped petition the IOC to be one of the next Olympic sports.
Welcome back, GOAT fans, to another episode of the greatest of all time podcast show, GOAT Radio. I'm the big man, and I'm so jacked up for my next guest. Who would have known my old roommate is one of the GOATs of the wicked sport that we're going to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so pumped to welcome USA bandy player Mikael Lickteig, a.k.a. Licki. Thanks for joining me, brother.
Thanks for having me. Good to be on the GOAT Radio in the GOAT Garage with the big man. I'm pumped. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, man. We go back, and I miss you a lot, man.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We were roommates, and this means a lot, for sure.
Huskies for life, baby.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the wicked sport of bandy. Not many people know about it on this side of the world.
It's true.
But we're going to get into it. But first things first, I got to say what I'm wearing, okay? I'm wearing the 2009 to 2012.
Yeah, 11-ish. We got black ones in 2011. Then we got the golds in 2012. I think the new gold, new whites, I think.
The black and yellow trim. I always love their jerseys, man.
Oh, especially, I love our golds and the new blacks they have. I think they've won it like Jersey of the Year a couple of times now, voted on like College Hockey News.
Yeah. And you know what? Ever since we took off, they have been completely wicked.
Hey, we won the GLI, baby.
Yeah, we did.
We were the first team to do it in 30 years.
I know.
Got the plaque over there.
Yeah, I got insanely scratched, but I was happy for the boys, that championship win. I remember that in this Joe Louis. It was fun. And shout out to Michigan Tech. They just won the GLI last
the game
week.
I blew up my shoulder. I remember.
The championship game?
Remember I had like 30 seconds left. I got just rocked from behind and just busted up my shoulder.
Yeah, we won 4-0, right?
4-0 against Michigan, 4-0 against Western Michigan. Yeah.
Wow.
Copley back-to-back shutouts.
Yeah. And then North Pole.
Exactly.
And then Tech just won it like 2 weeks ago, right? Shootout against Michigan State.
Yeah.
So,
yes, sir.
You know what? MTU is making us proud, and wicked times there.
I'm going to watch them tonight to play because one of my best friends is the assistant coach now, Jordy Murray.
Oh, for Tech?
Tech, yeah. Yep.
Nice. So
he played bandy with me, and then he went up there. And now he doesn't play, obviously, but he was on my bandy team, and then he went up there to coach full time.
Okay, let's get on with it and talk about bandy.
Sure.
So, first off, how'd you stumble on to this sport after we played? Did you always have it in the back of your mind, or you being from Minnesota, land of 10,000 lakes, everyone's skating around? Where was bandy in all this?
No, I didn't even know about it. But during that first summer off from college, I was still sort of training to maybe play again, but also was working at a gym called First Athlete. And it's all hockey players only, NHL guys, college guys. And they kept talking about this like rink bandy, what they're called. Like, hey, I got rink bandy tonight. And there's just one night that they needed a sub. I joined in and played and was like, okay, it's pretty cool. It's just 4-on-4 on like a regular hockey rink, no offsides, just a lot of speed, regular nets. So it wasn't real bandy, but it was kind of a taste of it. And then the coach of like the US team and like the guy that organizes the league asked me if I was going to be around the winter and if I'd be interested in going to Russia to play for the US team eventually. At the time I said no. I had no interest in it. I didn't really think anything about it. But then towards the summer end of the summer came and I got offered to take over the gym myself. And so I didn't go play hockey. And so I was like, all right, well now I'm sitting on my ass. Let's see if there's anything out there. I tried beer league and my first beer league game, I got like 2 sticks to the face and I'm done with that. So I tried bandy out for the first time, stepped out in the big rink, and kind of fell in love, and then just kind of went from there.
Okay. A lot of the GOAT fans like me don't know much about it, like the rules. Is it same sort of thing with like hockey? Like, is there 3 periods?
No, so it's very much aligned with soccer. It's actually older than hockey, I think.
Oh,
Super popular in Russia, Sweden, the Scandinavian countries right now. But no, the rules are very much like soccer. Like it's 10 on 10 plus goalies. The offsides are exactly like soccer. So it's the line of the last defender. You have corners. Corners is a little weird though. Like the opposite team that's defending lines up behind the goal line, and they rush out to the shooter and try to block it, which is kind of dangerous, kind of fun. But that part's different. You can't like lift the stick. There's no lifting of sticks. So you got to pick it clean, and it's a lot more team defense orientated. I would say.
and there's the nets are pretty big.
Yeah, they're I would say 8 feet tall, not quite as wide as a soccer net. That'd be ridiculous. But I would say like more like it's closer to like a broom ball net, if you know what that is.
So what is the outcome of a game? Is it like 10-9 or is it like 20? How many goals can is it like a lacrosse result?
Depends on the style of teams that are playing. Like certain teams will call what they say park the bus. You've seen it in soccer where a team will just sit back and just try to bring all their guys back and really play a defensive game. Like when Sweden and Russia play, those are like the two dominant teams. When they play, a typical game is 4-5, 4-3. However, if a team's just a little bit better than the other team, it can get out of hand real fast, and it can be like 9-1. Even though a 9-1 game can actually look pretty good, it's just they just found a way to score. It looks like a blowout, but if you watch the game, sometimes it doesn't look like a blowout.
So they're the powerhouses, the Russia, Sweden, the Scandinavian countries.
Russia and Sweden are by far above everybody else, and they play such opposite styles. Like the Russian style is like attack, 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 and the Swedish style makes you dizzy. They don't attack unless it's perfect, kind of like how they do in soccer. One cool fact about Bandy too is like the Soviet Union never had a hockey program until 1955ish. They only played bandy. Bandy's like their national sport, and the original team took just bandy players and took bandy tactics. So you know how they have 5-man units, and they would always turn it back. They wouldn't dump it in. They would always turn it back, use the D-man to rush the opposite side. That's what bandy is. And you sort of see it now in NHL with those power play breakouts where they always throw it back to the last guy.
Yeah.
That's bandy. That's just bandy, but we just do it over and over again until we break down the defense.
Wow. I don't know. Many people know about that Soviet Union story. That's pretty,
Yeah, I always found that fascinating. Is they didn't play hockey at all, but they wanted to dominate the Olympics, and bandy was taken out of the Olympics in the early 1900s. It was originally in. Hockey was, and the only way to show Olympic dominance is you got to adopt hockey, and that's how they started. Took them like 15 years to dominate the hockey world.
yeah. So ever since I found out you've been, playing this cool sport, I've been watching clips and all that. And the players like yourself, you guys can all skate. There's very skilled players. Can some of these players legit play pro hockey right now or even NHL?
It's a different style of skating too, though. Like, because you're on these longer blades, and so yes and no. It's just a different skill set. Like, during the summer, during the winter, we'll have like NHL guys come play bandy with us, and they don't pick it up right away. They don't look very good, but I guarantee you give them a couple weeks and they'd be awesome, and vice versa. And then Dynamo has a kid that is on the Russian national team that originally was on the Dynamo hockey program, and he chose to go the bandy route, but he was originally going to be like a top player in Russia, but he decided to go the bandy style instead because he could have played on the national team when he was 16 and decided to go that way.
Are they paying?
So yeah, definitely.
Are they paying these Russians?
Russia pays good money. Russia pays really good money. Sweden, decent, but Sweden's like a better lifestyle to live, obviously. But the Russians, a lot of like Swedes, really top high-end Swedes will go to Russia for 3-4 years, make their money and go back. But the Russian league has money. Their rinks are enormous. If you've seen some of those clips, they sell out to like 10, 15,000 people stadiums. It's quite impressive.
What's the so you've been on Team USA. Where is that taking you? Do you guys have like, in terms of international play, do you guys play like a tournament every year, or how does that work?
Yeah, before COVID, it's a yearly tournament. It typically rotates. Like Russia will have it twice, then Sweden would have it once, and Russia would have it twice, and Sweden once. The Russian tournaments are above and beyond anything I've ever seen. You're treated like a superstar rock star for the entire week. Everywhere you go, you're getting autographed, pictures taken. People think they don't know you, right? They don't know that we're just a bunch of ex hockey players, kind of washed up hockey guys, just looking for a good time. They actually think like you're there to like win gold, and it's like, okay, we're just here for have a good time, compete, and maybe beat Norway is kind of our Norway's kind of our rival. That's kind of our big goal every tournament is to beat them, and we finally did in 2019. But the Swedish tournament's a little more low key. They're good. It's good tournaments, good venues, but nobody knows you're even there really.
And I have to point this out. You were MVP, North American MVP. Tell me about that.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different cups we play for. I think we play for 4 different cups, and we have like 4 different styles of MVPs. I've won them, a lot of them, and there's a lot of good players in the league. But yeah, the recent one is like a little beginning of the year tournament we always do, and sometimes we'll have teams from Sweden or Finland come and join us. This year we couldn't. Ever since COVID's kind of changed things a lot in a USA bandy world anyway. But yeah, it was a fun little tournament we had, and they always do some sort of a weird presentation with the trophy. It's usually some sort of liquor and some sort of a cup or something.
You guys, how's the Bandy booze fest?
When we go to Russia, we always say we might not win the tournament, but we always win the banquet.
Yeah.
Basically, whoever parties the hardest wins that, and it's usually us and the Russians that are battling, and I think we usually take it. That's kind of our goal, is to always have the most fun.
You have some equipment there. You want to compare the two, bandy and hockey
Sure.
skates?
So,
why don't we go through that?
So here's like obviously you've seen a typical hockey skate in the blades.
Yeah.
The rounded typical rocker is like between a 9 or a 10-foot rocker. You see their profile. And here's the bandy, which you don't have the tendon guard. And then the profile is typically 22 to 30 feet. Much more flatter. And there's also like no edge either, really. You don't put much of an edge on. It's called a flat edge.
Okay, tell me, why is it flat like that, and why is there no back thing on the boot?
The back thing, honestly, if you show up to the tournaments overseas, you look like a dust bucket with your back. It looks weird, to be honest. Now, originally I didn't want to do it, but it does look awkward. And then once you put on the big steel, it does make a difference, because you really want a lot of ankle mobility with these longer steel. It definitely helps out a lot. And then, yeah, you don't want much of an edge, because you're not stopping and starting out there. It's big river skates. Like if the play changes direction, you're just taking a big turn back. It's all about big wide turns, and you're not really stopping and starting ever. And if you are, then you're probably playing the wrong way.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
What about the twigs?
Oh, twigs. Yeah, hang on. I got some of those.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The twigs, a couple of them, the wooden one and composite one. Obviously, there's no curve left or right, so you shoot left or you can shoot both ways, and you really wouldn't want a curve. It doesn't really make much sense, especially with the ball that you're using.
So there's how are you doing like a wrist shot sort of thing, or is it more of a slap?
No, it's more like golf. You're swinging like this. You're golfing it too. You're golfing it, or you're popping. You're hitting down on it a lot. Unless you're in really tight, then you kind of just wrist it. But I like to shoot from far out, and so I just crank it like a golf shot, like I'm hitting a driver off the deck.
Super cool. So, what's the difference from a good player and a great player then? Everyone can skate. What skill separates one from the other?
Deception. There are guys that, like, honestly, skating is great because I rely like on my skating, but there are guys that, like, I don't think are necessarily the greatest skaters, but they weave through everybody because they just look around and they got good hands, and they fool you with their edges and deception. I think that's what makes some of the players so great. But yeah, some of like the goats from Russia, like Sergei Lomanov and Almaz Murgazov, those guys are just wicked on their edges, and they're so fast.
I was going to ask you, who's the goat of all goats in this sport? You mentioned those two guys. Can you say their names again so I can
Yeah, so it's tough to call like there's so many good Swedish players, but the Swedish style uses like everybody on the ice is really important in the Swedish style. Like doesn't matter if you're the fullback, the halfback, the mid, or the forward, you're part of like this of the team tactics. When I played in Sweden for a couple of years, I mean, we would talk about tactics for hours and hours and hours. I mean, I didn't understand a word, but they explained it to me eventually. The Russian style is very simple. They turn it back once or twice. They look for their studs that are circling behind them. They drop it to them, and they just torpedo up the middle over and over and over again. And it's usually one of their superstars. So that's why it's easier to call like a Sergei Lomanov or a Murgazov from Russia, like the GOATs, because they're just getting fed the ball constantly.
Do you think McDavid, aka McJesus, can come into Bandy and dominate?
I think once he learned to use the bigger steel, because that's a really weird learning curve. Like I hated it. It took me quite a while to like figure out how to skate more of like a lateral push off and not toe pick. Like it's so funny when guys first switch over. It's toe pick after toe pick after toe pick because you want to get up on your toes and there's no really toe. Once you figured that out, my God, it would be he'd be a nightmare out there. He's a nightmare, but yeah, you put him on like the longer steel where you can be even faster because you get going. So you like glide on top of the ice, you float. He'd be a nightmare.
Wow, I'm so interested, man. So what's next? When's your next tournament? When are you going to?
Right now we're just in the middle of our league that we do.
Yeah.
We kind of put up we have two different leagues. We have our top like our elite league, which is 6 teams, and it's kind of spread out the talent. But our team has like 6 or 7 like Division 1 guys that from our WCHA league that I play with. Each team has like kind of that amount, so it's a lot of talent. Even one of our rival team has a former Edmonton Oiler, Ryan Jones.
Yeah.
Also, Hobie played at Nashville too. They're kind of like a big rival team of my team. Typically around this time of the year, we'd be getting ready to go over to Sweden, Finland, or Russia. However, they're skipping it this year for whatever reason. We had the tournament last year, and it was the first time that obviously Russia wasn't there, and it just isn't the same without Russia. I mean, you need to have Russia in those tournaments. And so we're skipping it this year, and then we'll probably go somewhere next year. Not sure where though, to be honest.
Cool, man. Keep playing. You're in good shape. You play, and maybe you could coach down the road, and maybe
got maybe a couple more years in me.
Can it be an Olympic sport down the road?
It should be. There's only one team sport in the Winter Olympics, and it's hockey. In Sochi, it was supposed to be an exhibition, but for whatever reason, they blew that off. And then the IOC has came to all of our tournaments the last like 6 or 7 years to like see if they can get it in, but it's a money deal.
Yeah. Well, super cool. That would be wicked, and you keep going. You could be one of the absolute pioneers of the sport.
Sure.
All right, Licki, why don't we get into some GOAT rapid fire to end off the pod?
Ooh, okay.
So you're going to give me your answer. You can expand if you want to, or you say next question. Are you ready?
Okay.
Let's GOAT. McDavid or prime Patty Kane?
McDavid. Look what he's doing. He's got like 600 points already or something like that.
900.
Or maybe 900. That's what it was. 900. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dyslexic.
Elias Pettersson or William Nylander?
Pettersson. I'm giving me Pettersson. He's nasty.
Yeah.
They're both nasty.
Kobe or LeBron?
Kobe. I'm a LeBron hater.
Yeah. But you gotta, I love Kobe. He's one of the GOATs of all GOATs, but you gotta give LeBron credit right now. What is he doing?
I looked at his numbers this year, and it's the same from like 10 years ago, and I'm like, oh, it hurts me how good he is still.
Yeah.
It's more of a personal thing than his talent thing. When you remember when I think we were watching it together. I'm taking my talents to South Beach. That's when I was like, I'm out on LeBron. I was out on him.
Yeah.
The second he said that, taking my talents to South Beach. Like,
not one, not two,
not 6, not 7, not 8. Shut up.
Yeah. Okay, Zlatan Ibrahimovic or Ronaldo from Brazil?
Oh, Ronaldo from Brazil. The original Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Sorry, I love Zlatan, but
yeah.
Come on.
Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts?
Josh Allen.
Gronk or Kelsey?
Gronk. Gronk. Can't have recency bias. I think Gronk did everything.
All
If
right.
Gronk was thrown to as much as Kelsey's thrown to, it'd be even worse.
All right. This brings up a lot of memories of me, you, and Krames on our futon.
Graham.
Novak Djokovic, Nadal, or Federer?
I have to say Novak, but you know I'm a Federer guy.
Yeah. And you know what?
Novak is the GOAT. He really is.
I
I
uh,
love him.
I respect everyone's Federer opinion or Nadal, but 13 years ago ish, we were watching Joker and Federer, and I don't know what tournament it was, but he came back from 2 sets down. Until this day, he's number one.
I know. I was
It's hard.
hurt by that tournament.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I gotta give it to him.
Yeah. GSP or Khabib?
Khabib never lost, right?
Hulk Hogan or Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Stone Cold.
Ooh.
Stone Cold for sure.
Okay. These two ladies, you locked yourself in your dorm room a few times watching these two. Stacy Keibler or Tori Wilson?
Give me Stacy.
Stacy, yeah.
Stacey.
Okay, are you blondes or brunettes?
That depends, man.
You could go.
Give me brunette.
Okay, you could have went next question, but
I'll go. Sure.
Okay.
Next question.
Super Bowl prediction. I need the matchup and the winner.
Let's go. Let's go a repeat of the 94 Bills Cowboys. Bills win.
Ooh, nice. Okay, what would you rather want? You being a mini boy, Viking Super Bowl, or Minnesota Wild Stanley Cup?
That's tough. That's tough because for hockey, I'm more of like a league fan than a Wild fan because I grew up a Red Wings fan, diehard Fedorov fan. He's my goat. So the Wild is like my adopted team, it feels like. But like, man, I still have like heartache over my Vikes. So give me Vikes Super Bowl.
Yeah. You said Fedorov's your GOAT?
Yeah.
By
far. I was obsessed over him.
I mention this often. We have a signed Fedorov skate here in the Goat Rush.
Skate? Was it a white one too? One of the Nikes?
Yeah, it's a white Nike. It's insane. Yeah.
How much you want for that?
Ooh, that's priceless. All right. Michigan or Minnesota? Which is the state of hockey?
Minnesota, by far. We have the most college players, most NHL players, easily, and we also have 10,000. We have 10,000 rinks.
Yeah,
the backyard.
Nice. All right, World Cup of Hockey supposed to happen 2025.
I knew this was coming.
Team Canada or Team USA? Who has the better roster?
I think USA is with the goaltending is deeper,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean your top line's insane. McKinnon, McDavid. But I don't know if Bedard would be in there. Crosby's still playing the elite level.
Yeah,
I think it'd be I think it's a pick 'em. I think they're the two favorites. It'd be nice if Russia could get in and get a team, but I don't think they're going to be allowed again.
That's too bad. That's just too bad.
It's not the same with them.
No,
without them.
Absolutely need them.
But I'm gonna go with my Americans. We're gritty. We're gonna do it. We're gonna pull it off.
100%.
Goaltending's big. You gotta have goaltender.
And you know who scares me? Kachucks.
Yeah.
I would hate to play both of them. Okay, you're in good shape. You're in great shape. What's the number one thing you do to keep your six pack?
I don't know. I think it's just genetics. Kidding. It's just don't eat like a pig, and work out. And I hate running and doing this, but luckily I get to skate. I think skating's a big part of why I'm in shape, is because I'm on the ice 3-4 times a week. So I don't have to like go on a treadmill very long. I just lift 4 or 5 times a week, and I eat really boring though. It's super boring diet, but it works, right?
Yeah. Couple more. Bandy stick or hockey stick?
hockey stick. Like hockey's still my passion.
All right, last one, brother. What's the best thing about the Michigan Tech days?
Hanging out with you, bro. Sitting on the couch, just vibing, joking, talking about how dark and depressed we were because it was always dark out.
It's snow up to our top of the door. Yeah, honestly, I don't
Reminiscing
really.
about coaches chirping us, all the good things.
I know, man. It was like you said, sitting on the couch. I don't really remember the wins and the losses. I remember the boys, our futon, za Sundays, some vino, and a lot of laughs.
Dude, so many laughs. I still will sit on my couch and just think about some of the laughs we had, man. It was good times, good parties too. We made them all. We had a lot of good times.
100%. I got to drink to that because that was.
I'll drink to that too with my. Check this out.
Oh yeah!
Video.
Wow,
Cheers.
what a great supporter. Cheers, brother. All the best.
I also got the shirt. I think.
Oh,
Sold the shirt for free.
Oh, you're the man. And you know what? Yeah, thanks for rocking it. And I can't wait to get a few other Michigan Tech guys on here, have a nice Michigan Tech pod, to maybe talk about how good the program is right now and some of the controversy with the coaching staff the last couple of years. That would be sweet.
That would be good. We should definitely get that going. It wouldn't be hard. Just get 3 or 4 of us and let's go. Let's party.
Let's do it, brother. All right, man. Thanks for sharing Bandy with us. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of chatter about it here in the West Coast. So thanks, brother.
Well, you gotta get the Canadian team going. You guys have a team in Winnipeg. They come down once a year to play us. You gotta invest in it and grow the sport up there a little bit, and you guys will have a dominant team.
That would be sweet. Bandy, Van City.
Yeah, there you go. Start the league up, baby.
All the best, bro. I miss you, and it's good to catch up with you for sure.
You, buddy. Good seeing you again.
This is the greatest of all time podcast show, GOAT Radio. We will see you next time from our GOAT history. We'll see you later.
I am a real American, fight for the rights of every man. I am a real American, fight for what's right, fight for your life.
GOATO, greatest show of all time. The Garage Mahal, like Kobe in his prime. Kicking it like Messi, Undertaker on the rise. Austin 3:16, I just stun him and unwind off the top rope. Oh yeah, Randy watching fly. Ric Flair with tequila, feeling fine. Celebrating greatness and